Chapter 15. The Scholar's Secret. Daniel's unease grew as Victor's questions became more persistent. One night, he confided in Dr. Granger about his concerns. "There's something off about Victor," Daniel said, pacing the room. "He's too focused on the darkness, almost as if he's searching for a way to bring it back." Dr. Granger nodded thoughtfully. "I've noticed his intensity as well. We should keep a close eye on him, but also be careful not to jump to conclusions." As they continued to observe Victor, they discovered that he often ventured out late at night, visiting the lake and conducting strange experiments. Daniel decided it was time to confront him. Under the cover of darkness, Daniel and Dr. Granger followed Victor to the lake. They watched as he lit candles and began chanting in a language neither of them recognized. The air grew cold, and a sense of foreboding enveloped them. "Victor, stop!" Daniel shouted, stepping into the clearing. "What are you doing?" Victor turned, his face illuminated by the candlelight, revealing a look of intense focus. "I'm trying to understand the true nature of the darkness," he said. "To harness its power, to control it." Daniel's heart raced. "You don't know what you're dealing with. The darkness is not something to be controlled. It nearly destroyed this village." Victor's expression softened slightly. "I understand your fear, but I believe knowledge is the key to preventing future threats. The darkness may never be truly gone, but if we can understand it, we can protect ourselves." Dr. Granger stepped forward. "Victor, your intentions may be noble, but this path is dangerous. The power you're seeking could consume you and endanger us all." Victor hesitated, his resolve wavering. "I only want to help," he said quietly. Chapter 16. A Test of Faith. The confrontation with Victor left the village on edge. Daniel and Dr. Granger worked to reassure the villagers, emphasizing the importance of unity and vigilance. They continued to monitor Victor, hoping to guide him away from his dangerous pursuits. One stormy night, as lightning flashed and thunder rumbled, a sense of dread settled over Frosthaven. Daniel felt it in his bones, a warning that something was amiss. He hurried to the church, where he found Victor standing before the altar, a look of determination on his face. "I need to know," Victor said, his voice trembling with emotion. "I need to understand the darkness, to see if it can truly be controlled." Daniel approached him slowly. "Victor, I understand your desire for knowledge, but some things are better left alone. The darkness is a force of chaos and destruction. It cannot be tamed." Victor shook his head. "I can't accept that. There must be a way." As the storm raged outside, Daniel knew he had to act. He reached out and placed a hand on Victor's shoulder. "Let's find another way together. There is always hope, even in the face of darkness. But we must not let our fear drive us to reckless actions." Victor looked into Daniel's eyes, searching for assurance. Finally, he nodded. "You're right. I was blinded by my obsession. I see that now." Together, they extinguished the candles and dismantled Victor's experiment. The oppressive feeling lifted, replaced by a sense of relief and renewed purpose. The storm passed, and Frosthaven awoke to a clear, crisp morning. The village was once again at peace, its people united in their commitment to protect their home. Victor, humbled by his experience, chose to stay in Frosthaven, dedicating himself to studying the mysteries of the lake with a newfound respect for its power. Daniel continued to lead with compassion and wisdom, his faith in the strength of the community unshaken. He knew that darkness could always return, but he also knew that with unity and vigilance, they could face any challenge. The story of Frosthaven and its lake grew richer with each passing year, a tale of courage, redemption, and the enduring power of hope. It was a story told by the fireside, not just as a warning of the past, but as a reminder of the light that could always triumph over darkness. And so, the village thrived, ever watchful, ever hopeful, and forever united against the shadows. Chapter 17: The Keeper of Secrets. Years blended into decades, and Frosthaven prospered under the vigilant watch of its inhabitants. Daniel had become an elder statesman, a figure of wisdom and compassion, whose stories of the lake's darkness and the village's triumph were passed down through generations. Victor Hale, once an outsider, had integrated fully into the community, his scholarly pursuits now focused on preserving the history and ensuring the safety of Frosthaven. The village, however, had not forgotten the darkness. Every year, on the anniversary of the final ritual, the villagers held a vigil at the lake, a solemn reminder of the battles fought and the peace hard won. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast a golden glow over the village, a group of children gathered around Daniel's hearth, eager for one of his legendary stories. His voice, though weathered with age, held a timeless warmth that captivated their young minds. "Tonight," he began, "I will tell you of the Keeper of Secrets, the guardian who watches over our beloved Frosthaven." The children leaned in closer, their eyes wide with anticipation. Chapter 18: The Guardian's Challenge. Long ago, before the darkness first touched Frosthaven, there was a guardian chosen to protect the village and its secrets. This guardian, known as the Keeper of Secrets, was entrusted with knowledge passed down through generations, knowledge that held the key to the village's safety and prosperity. The first keeper was a wise woman named Alara, who possessed a deep understanding of the natural world and the ancient rituals that kept the darkness at bay. She had a gift for seeing into the hearts of men, and her counsel was sought by all who lived in Frosthaven. One harsh winter, a stranger arrived at Alara's door. He was a tall man with dark, piercing eyes that seemed to hold secrets of their own. He introduced himself as Malachi, a wanderer seeking refuge from the storm. Alara, sensing a deep sorrow within him, welcomed him into her home. As the days passed, Malachi revealed his true purpose. He was a seeker of knowledge, driven by a thirst for power that had led him to the darkest corners of the world. He had heard tales of the Keeper of Secrets and the ancient wisdom she possessed. "I have traveled far," Malachi said one night, his voice low and urgent. "I seek the knowledge to control the darkness, to harness its power. Will you help me, Alara?" Alara regarded him with a steady gaze. "The knowledge you seek is not meant for control, but for protection. The darkness is a force of chaos and destruction, not a tool to be wielded." Malachi's eyes flashed with anger. "You speak of fear, not understanding. There must be a way to master it." Alara shook her head. "True power lies not in domination, but in harmony. The darkness must be respected and kept at bay, not controlled. But Malachi was not convinced. One night, driven by his obsession, he stole into Alara's sanctuary and took the sacred texts that held the village's secrets. He fled into the night, intent on unlocking the power of the darkness for his own purposes. Alara, heartbroken by his betrayal, knew that she had to act quickly. She gathered the villagers and led them in a powerful ritual to protect Frosthaven and reclaim the stolen knowledge. The air crackled with energy as they chanted, their voices rising in unison. Malachi, realizing the depth of his mistake, tried to harness the darkness, but it was beyond his control. The forces he had unleashed turned against him, and he was consumed by the very power he sought to dominate. Alara, using her wisdom and the strength of the village, sealed the darkness once more, ensuring that it could never threaten Frosthaven again. She became a legend, the first of many keepers who would watch over the village and its secrets. Chapter 19: The Torch Passed. As Daniel finished the story, the children sat in awed silence. The fire crackled softly, casting dancing shadows on the walls. One of the children, a girl with bright, curious eyes, spoke up. "Who is the Keeper of Secrets now, Grandfather Daniel?" she asked. Daniel smiled warmly. "The Keeper of Secrets is not one person, but all of us. Each generation must learn and remember, must guard the knowledge and the rituals that protect our village. We are all keepers of the legacy, united in our vigilance." The girl nodded, a look of determination on her young face. "I want to be a keeper of secrets too. I want to protect Frosthaven." Daniel's heart swelled with pride. "And you will, my dear. You will." As the years rolled on, Frosthaven remained a beacon of hope and resilience, its people ever watchful and ever united. The story of the lake and the darkness became a cherished part of their heritage, a testament to the power of community and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Daniel passed away peacefully in his sleep one winter's night, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and courage. The village mourned his loss but celebrated his life, knowing that his spirit would always be with them. Victor Hale continued his work, ensuring that the knowledge of the past was preserved and that the village remained vigilant against any future threats. He too became a beloved figure in Frosthaven, his dedication and insight a valuable asset to the community. The girl who had vowed to be a keeper of secrets grew up, her name remembered by all, Lila, the guardian of Frosthaven. She carried forward the torch of wisdom and vigilance, ensuring that the village remained safe and its legacy intact. And so, the story of Frosthaven and its lake lived on, a tale of bravery, unity, and the eternal light that could always banish the darkest of shadows. Chapter 20: A New Threat. Years turned into decades, and Frosthaven continued to flourish under the watchful eyes of its guardians. Lila had grown into a wise and respected leader, her commitment to protecting the village unwavering. She had learned from the stories of Father Parson, Daniel, and Victor Hale, and she was determined to uphold their legacy. However, the peace of Frosthaven was not meant to last forever. One fateful winter, a series of strange events began to unfold. The first sign was a sudden drop in temperature, colder than any winter the villagers had ever experienced. The lake, which had remained calm and clear for so long, began to freeze over with an eerie, unnatural speed. One evening, as Lila was preparing for bed, a frantic knock came at her door. It was Thomas, now a young man, his face pale with fear. "Lila, you must come quickly," he urged. "There's something wrong at the lake. Shadows, they're back." Lila felt a chill run down her spine. She grabbed her coat and followed Thomas to the lake, where a group of villagers had already gathered. The ice on the lake's surface was dark and opaque, shadows moving beneath it like restless spirits. Victor Hale, now elderly but still sharp-minded, joined them, his face etched with concern. "It's happening again," he murmured. "The darkness is returning."